So I checked to make sure there weren't any other cyclists before I went to Cornell. The guy that just turned left used a hand signal. That was actually very helpful. I looked behind me to see there weren't any other cyclists before I passed these pedestrians. And then I noticed there was another cyclist in front of me, so I decided to follow him because he was going to kind of part the pedestrians, and I could just follow in his wake. There were quite a lot of people, and so we weren't going very quickly. It's almost at a walking pace at this point. And then this dude in like a unicycle thing came right behind me. But he wasn't going any faster either. I thought I was going to run into the guy on the right who was on his bicycle. At this point, I was like really going slowly because there were so many people around. And I felt anxious for myself and for the pedestrians. And at some point, I just had to go not on the sidewalk because I was going to be in danger of myself and others. So at this point, I'm just dodging around people. I'm going a lot faster than walking distance, which I could tell was scaring some people. But I decided to just go quickly. I had a lot of near misses at this point because it was just so dense. Okay, so now I'm biking towards Forbes Avenue, and there are quite a lot of pedestrians, but I'm sticking to the right side because there are fewer on that side. These people just came out of nowhere, and I think I would have hit them had I not seen their shadows on the building. So I go down the ramp to get to the street. I'm checking to see when the pedestrian sign is going to turn on. And at this point I see the other cyclist crossing the street, and so I brake to let him get onto the sidewalk. And then there's all these people, and they're not getting out of my way, and so I almost hit that guy. And I pick the area with the least amount of pedestrians, and I go through them, just like cutting across, kind of dangerous. I check behind me to make sure there's no cars. And then I go into the parking lot in order to turn around. But there aren't any pedestrians here, so I can go as fast as I want. Okay, so here I'm biking towards the UC, and I see a big clump of people that are just standing in the way, so I go pretty slowly behind them. Now there's no one around, so I go pretty fast. But then I see just like a whole horde of people up ahead, so I'm going as far right as possible. And these people are kind of like scattered all over the place because the walkway is really broad. Some people I know are making faces at me. And let's say there's a truck in the way, which makes the pathway even more narrow. And so this was a really tight squeeze. Oh my goodness, I felt really bad. It's terrible whenever there's like trucks in the way. People take up the whole path. And at this point I'm just dodging around them because I have the space. There's another truck going pretty quickly, and just decided to follow the truck. Now there's no pedestrians, and it's nice. Okay, so here I'm right past Hunt Library and behind CFA, and I want to get to Margaret Morrison really quickly, so I decide to go through the Number Garden, and then there's this dude who's right in front of me. The pathway is really small, so I decide to ring my bell, but it still takes him a while, and he doesn't really move that much. And then I just ride past him.